Hey guys, hope everybody's having a jam up 2023 spring season. We've been wide open since March 1st here, but in this video I want to give you a tip that has helped me land more small landscaping projects. And these small landscaping projects you can get in and out on and be really, really profitable. But I want to share with you something that's worked for me to land more projects. So when I first started doing landscaping projects, I failed to get a bona fide budget from the client. Now, what would happen was, and this happens to you as well, your client says, hey, can you come in and redo my flower beds or make my flower beds look better? And they're very generic in what they are telling you, but you have to ascertain what it is that they're looking for, okay? And the mistake that I made in the beginning is I would look at this project and say, look, I'm telling myself, you need a full tear out and we've got to, this looks horrible. You need new plants, you need new edging, like you need no mulch, you need the works and a redesign and everything. And the clients, they're thinking that this is going to be a simple, $1,000, $800 project. And you're giving them a $4,000 bid for a full tear out and redesign and everything. Okay, so we use string lines to make sure our lines are straight and level on the edge of the yard. Seen some guys just kind of eyeball it. Get out a string line, stake your property lines, and we're gonna have to use a sod cutter to cut out all of this vegetation. We'll be using a mini skid right here, cultivating this. But first we gotta get all this material out, and that's really kind of the headache, of sod jobs. Is anybody can go and throw grass, but it's what do you do with this existing vegetation? Well, you got to get it all out of there, and there's a lot of labor involved in that. But again, the first thing I wanted to share with you was whenever you're getting your lines for the edge of where your sod's going to be, use a string line, stake it down, and go ahead and paint it out. That way you get a nice clean line with your sod cutter. Same thing over here. I think I still even got the string lines down over here. Yeah, so this is the property line right here, and you can't see it, but there's a pink string line running right through here. And we're going right to the edge of the air conditioner. So this lady is going to be getting a new front lawn. We're going to be taking care of her flower beds for her. We're going to widen those, just kind of improve the appearance of the curve of the bed there, just something a little more natural. This is an east-facing home. So we have a lot of options with our plants. We could go sun, we can go partial shade. So I really, really like east facing homes. Those are some of my favorites. I got a little selection of plants I like doing for these types of projects. Very important, you see there's flags in the yard. You need to have the yard marked out, okay? Call 811. You need at least 2 business days. You can put in your request online. You'll have your AT&Ts come out, your MediaComs, your water, power, gas, all those guys are going to show you, okay, exactly where the lines are buried. That way you're completely clear of any type of utilities whenever you're in here getting the yard ready. So anyways, just wanted to kind of give you guys that bit of information up front. Call 811 before you get going with anything so they can mark all utilities. Get everything nice and straight so your designated working area, and then kind of just come up with a plan, like what kind of equipment do you need to do this job? Do you need the soil cultivator? Do you need a Harley rake? Do you need a sod cutter? Do you need a big bucket? You definitely need a dump trailer if you're gonna be doing this. There's no way around that. So yeah, that's the first part of the prep work, and I'll keep you guys up to speed on the rest of it. Okay, through the power of time, just to kind of drive home that point. So we got a nice clean edge here that we can work off of now. So again, we came in here with a sod cutter, cut all this stuff out. We took the main skid, put our bucket down here, and then just flipped that sod into there and then dumped it all into the dump trailer. So I didn't show that while we were working. We were just kind of got in a groove, and I wanted to keep working while we had some daylight today. But that's how we got this section out right here. So same thing over here. This was coming out so easy. We were able to just use our boots, kick it out, shovel it out. There's really just no good way to do that. But you want to create yourself a nice edge around here, because that machine, it'll get about, I don't know, about 6 inches to 8 inches close. So you really want to have yourself a good border cut out before you start going to work with your Mini. One other thing that we like to do, guys, is we like to work off of a clean edge here, clean line. So instead of like throwing your sod in here and then kind of having a squirrely edge to work off, we will use a string line to have a straight edge to throw all the way down on, and then patch this area in right here. So take advantage of those string lines. They really help you keep everything nice and tight. So here's what I found. You need to ask your client up front exactly what their expectations are and what their budget is for the project. And here's how that helps you. I was missing out on jobs because I was quoting people or customers or potential clients a $4,000 or $5,000 project when they had a $1,500 budget. Now, that's not to say that we can't come to an agreement for a $1,500 job, but they would just see the project and be like, I can't afford that. But what I failed to do is I failed to ask them, like, hey, what are you expecting to spend on that? And let me see what I can do. What can I do to meet your budget and still make sure that I make money, okay? So instead of missing out on all these jobs, what I've started to do is, hey, what are you expecting to spend on this project? Now, if somebody says, hey, I got a $3,000 or $4,000 project, I know that they're willing to move forward and we can do something a little more elaborate. But I don't want to be missing out on the $1,200 and $1,500 projects just because I overbid it, because our expectations on the execution of the project was not the same. When you're bidding these jobs, ask your client what their budget is, and then you give them as good of a product as you can within that budget, but making sure that you're still making your margins that you need. I found that if you will do that, you will close a lot more sales, and you won't be missing out on those very profitable little jobs just because you're not on the same page with what your client was expecting to spend for the project. The only word of warning that I would give you on this is if you know that it's going to take $2,000 to $3,000 to make this project look good, and your client's trying to get this project done for under $1,000, and you know in your heart that this project is, you don't want to put your name on it because it's just not going to look the way it needs to look unless you can really get it, then you have to make that decision as the business owner. Say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Smith, what you're asking for, it's not going, you're not going to be happy with the end result with this budget, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to do the project. And guys, that takes discipline, and it takes some, it just takes some fortitude to be able to tell your client, like, you're not going to do the project because, you know, you can't put your stamp of approval on it just with the budget that they've set for what they are expecting. Whenever we finish a landscaping project, you know, small or bigger, like, I want to look at it and be really proud of what we've done. I want to be able to take pictures, and if it's not picture worthy, like, I'm just not really interested in doing the project. So make sure that you're on the same page with your client, set a budget, and then make sure that you're able to deliver a high quality job and something that you're happy to put your name on.